What up? What up? What up? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? See if we get anybody jump on. What's happening, everybody? About to start pressing up some orders. Nothing crazy. Casey, what's happening? About to be pressing up. Got a few orders to get up. Greedy Misfits, what's happening? Dougie Design, Chris Scott, Andress 09, Paul Suppos. Gonna be doing some of the churro t-shirts. If you've been following the Patreon, Facebook group, shit like that, you know about the churro t-shirts. We had about 20 something orders yesterday. Today we got 12. Made a little list here because I usually go off my phone. My laptop's upstairs. But we have medium, medium, large, 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 extra large, small, medium, extra large, extra large, extra large. 12 or 13 designs that, shirts that we got to press up, box up, and then ship them out for tomorrow. I also got to order some more poly mailers. We're almost out. I think I'm down to like my last 15 or something. Alpha Die, David, what's happening? Let me see. John Lamb, good to meet you at ISS. I appreciate that. Good to meet everybody that I seen out at ISS, man. Shit's dope. It's cool to match the name up with the people. Rick Murray, I appreciate that. Raymond Espinoza, what's up? That bike is fire. Appreciate that. Big Ripper SC Racing, 29-inch BMX. Michael Ashford was good. Hyro Torres, what's happening? Hustler, what's up? Brandon from Albuquerque, that's right. Joe Gamble, what's up? Cali Kid, do you use the same size logo for all t-shirt sizes? Yes, I do. So this right here, if you can see that, is gonna fit on size small and XX. Same goes for the chest print. That's gonna fit on the same size shirt. I never switch up the design size. I design to fit whatever I'm gonna offer. Skywalker's pressing them now too. That's right. Get that money. Mark Gomez, what's happening? 12 gone. You got them churro shirts cracking. I would have never guessed. Yeah, man, we did a lot of orders so far. Like I said, yesterday we did 20 something. I can't remember the count. Today I just got 12 in. I ship on Mondays and Thursdays. So anybody that places an order in between Monday during the day all the way up until Wednesday night, it gets shipped out on Thursday. Anybody that places an order Thursday to Sunday gets shipped out on Monday. I only ship out on those 2 days because it's easier for me. I don't have to be running around to the fucking post office every morning, you know what I mean? Let me see. Missy, hello B, what's happening? Dana Point, South Orange County in the building. Salute. I appreciate you. 18 Lucky. What's happening to Dana Point, South Orange County? Everybody over there, man. I fuck with everybody, especially Southern California. So love. Yeah, so the churro shirts, them shits did a lot better than I thought it was. This is just proof to show you that you could start a brand with one design. This same churro design, if you can see that, in loving memory of all the churros I'm about to eat. This is the front hit that goes right here. If you could see that. That one design has carried over like crazy. I have another design on the site that I never promoted, but I use it as a multiple order. Is this one right here, which is just a front hit. In Churros We Trust. Praying hands that I drew out with the churro. And that's that. I didn't even promote that one. That's just on the website. So when people go there looking for this churro design, they're going to see the other one. and most of the time they buy both. In this case, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these orders are like that. So, let's see, what are we gonna do here? I'm heating up the press right now, and let me see, what do we got? 223. It's got to get up to 377. We're doing plastisol transfers. This isn't vinyl. We're pressing on all style t-shirts. This time I had a little bit of prep time, so I got the shirts ready, the sizes that I need, so I don't have to dig through all the boxes of t-shirts. If you watched the last live session where I was pressing shirts, you would know that All Style for some reason cut my shipment into 3s. So I used the free ground shipping, ordered Sunday night. First shipment came on Tuesday, then I got another one on Wednesday and another one on Thursday. The thing that was fucked up was it wasn't like all sizes, like all the smalls and mediums on Tuesday, the large and extra large the next day, and double X next day. It was like one box had every single size. Next box had maybe a lot of extra large, large, and some mediums. And then the last box that I got in, which was this one down here, and it had every single size part of the order. I don't know why they chopped it up like that, but that's what we're currently doing. What size is the design? This one right here for the front hit, I want to say it's like 9 inches, 10 inches, somewhere around there. This one right here is a little over 12, or just about 12. I'm using a ruler. And up and down, I would say maybe 8, around there for the back hit. This is about 6 by 4.5. That's the front hit. Not everything I design is the same size. I mean, not every design varies. I just go off of what I think the shit's gonna look, how it's gonna look. If you haven't seen my video where I take some blue tape and I tape off the section of the shirt that I think is gonna look cool, that's usually what I do with majority of my designs. I just kind of visualize what it's gonna look like, and then I design to that. If that helps or makes any sense. So like I said, this back hit is a little over 12.5 inches or 12 inches or so. Do I do all my back hits at 12 inches? No. I just did this one because I thought it looked cool. Same goes for this one. Do I do everything at 9 inches or 8 inches, 10, whatever this is? Let's see what this is actually. 9. So I do this. Do I do everything at 9? No. I just go based off of feel, what I think is going to look cool, what looks proportional, what looks symmetrical, how it lays on the shirt. And by doing that is just taping off a section of the shirt, and then I look at it, and then I go from there. Let me see. Giovanni, what's happening? I just did my first shirt, but for some reason, there's like a mark on the middle of the shirt. I'm guessing you're talking from your heat press. Maybe you burned it, scorched it. So it might have been that you pressed it too hot. So you got to adjust your heat. It's all trial and error. You just have to figure out what's going to be the best settings for yourself. Pocket artwork, I think I just said, was 6 by 4.5. 6 by 4.5. Well, at a diagonal, it's a little bit bigger than 6 because of the churro. But like I said, these all depend. Like this Harley Davidson one that I'm wearing is 3 inches. This is 6. It all depends on what looks good to you. You know what I mean? Let me see. Sweet T41, what's happening? Corked Clothing drop new stuff. Rick Martinez, what's happening, homeboy? I did my first shirt and I left a mark in the middle of the shirt. I was just Big B Marathon, Cali Mead, that's dope. Do you ship flat rate or weigh each package? I weigh each package. Roughly 2 t-shirts inside of a poly mailer. All the poly mailers are upstairs right now. Is maybe 14 ounces, somewhere around there. I ship everything priority, USPS. One shirt, usually about 9 ounces with packaging, complete, ready to go. Let me see, 350 for 30 seconds. 30 seconds seems like a long ass fucking time to be pressing something. Obviously you're gonna burn the shirts. You have to, whatever you're using, like say if you're using heat transfer vinyl, say if you're using plastisol transfers, go off of the recommended settings. After those recommended settings, you just make the minor tweaks to what works for your setup. What's your minimum order on a custom? Minimum order on a custom t-shirt, 1 shirt. If I'm doing custom shirts, usually it's just 1 shirt. I'll do a one-off. Do you ever add your website onto shirts you press for yourself? Not really, like for self-promotion and shit like that. Rarely do that. Do I think anything's wrong with it? Probably not. I just never do that. Joe Grandpa hit the like button. I appreciate that. Jose Menes, what's happening? Do you purchase your designs for each order or do you print them up yourself? Check out my channel, and I talk a lot about plastisol transfers, which is this. Obviously, here's a bunch of them that are already cut out. Same goes for these hits. All of these came off the same page, and you pay for that one single transfer. Let me pull a transfer out for you so I can show you what the whole page looks like. So I order stuff like this. This right here is a full plastisol transfer. There's the back hit. There's the front hit of the other shirt. Here are 2 chest hits. This one page right here was like $1 or $1.30, some shit like that. I got like 200 something of them. So do the math, it was like 200 something dollars. And I got 200 something prints. Then you cut the shit out to each design, right? So you cut them out. Like I said, all these came on the same page. Cut them out, you press them on. That's all it is. The ink used on here is Plastisol ink, the same exact ink that screen printers use to print on a t-shirt. Plastisol ink screen printed directly onto the t-shirt. Plastisol ink screen printed on transfer paper. Only difference is screen printed t-shirts get cured in a conveyor belt dryer or an oven. That's how they cure the ink into the t-shirt. With these, you're curing the ink into the t-shirt with your heat press. You know what I mean? Let me see. Z Beats, what's happening? Nicholas Jacob, what's happening? My settings are 350 for 15 seconds. Same thing. You're going to have to adjust your stuff. Invest in one of these, which is a laser thermometer. This is going to tell you the accurate reading on the press. And then you're going to want to dial in your own settings. Just because my settings are 377, 377 will not work for you in whatever you're doing. It's just what works for my press and my setup. You have to test out your shit before you start selling it, because you need to be able to tell your customer how it's going to hold up. You need to be confident in the shit. You know what I mean? How did you promote your line? I promoted strictly on Instagram. A little bit of Facebook, all for free. I just... if you're part of Patreon or you're part of the Facebook group through Patreon, you'll see exactly screenshots of what I do, how I do it, and why it works. Instagram marketing, all the way free. I don't pay for shit for advertising, marketing, promo, none of that shit. Do everything for free as long as you don't mind putting in the work. Let me see. What is the average turnaround time to receive Plastisol heat transfers with a final design submitted to the vendor? It all depends, Rick Martinez. When I got these, I put a rush on them. You know what I mean? I ordered them on a Sunday or a Saturday, Sunday. I put a rush on it. I next dayed the motherfucker, so I got them by Tuesday. So they processed and printed Monday. That shit was on my doorstep Tuesday afternoon sometime. Other times, if you didn't put a rush, there's a lot of places that have like a 2 or 3 day turnaround, stuff like that. It just all depends. And it also depends on your artwork. If your artwork is set up and print ready, it makes the process a little bit easier. Let me see. Rep from Caribbean Island, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. About to start my t-shirt biz. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody out there. Grenada, Caribbean, all that shit, man. The Greens, I fuck with everybody out there, man. Who do you order your Plasol transfer from? I order from everybody. If you're part of Patreon, you know exactly who I ordered these from. If you have the list, you know exactly who I order them from also. How far down the collar do you go when printing on the back of the shirt? I just go based off of looks. So it just all depends on what's hanging over the edge. Obviously, this part is going to hang over the back side of the t-shirt or off of the press. So I just go based off of that. Just eyeball. What's the best press machine for first timers? Any press that fits your budget. Don't break the bank on the shit. Don't try to buy something that's crazy, because what if you don't even like it? You know what I mean? Buy something that fits your budget. You can always upgrade later. Always. That's a dope Harley shirt. I appreciate that. This is from Harley Davidson in Hawaii, Cycle City. It's great to know. Vinyl method or squeegee method? Which is better quality wise? Thank you as always. Squeegee method, meaning screen printing. They're both dope. They're two different applications. You can't compare the two because one is good for low quantity, one is good for bulk quantity. They're just two different things. Both dope. So is Sawgrass inks the inks you're talking about? I don't know nothing about Sawgrass ink. I'm talking about Plastisol ink that screen printers use. Doroteo, I bought about 20 t-shirts at my local Michael's during the holiday season because they were on sale. Recently made myself a t-shirt and I don't like the feel of it. That happens all the time. That's why I'll suggest ordering samples, buying one t-shirt, wearing the shit, see what you like, what fits for you. You know what I mean? That's just with anything. You want to buy what you like in case the brand doesn't do good and you have to wear all those shirts. Wear something that you're going to like. How can I take the burn mark off? You pretty much can't. You pretty much scorch the t-shirt. That means that you're burning the t-shirt. It's like saying, how do you take ash, like something that's already been burned, and make it unburned? You really can't. You know what I mean? Just press some FM Expression samples, Athletic Formula. When I looked closely, I seen the glue around the design. Is this normal? LS Cannon. The glue that you're seeing, what you're talking about is kind of like a clear ghosting around there. So what this is what, in short, this is how the shit works. So the screen lays down on the transfer paper. Put the ink through. Once they pass it through, they either dust it with a powder. The powder is the adhesion for when it heats up and then it bakes it, right? Because if not, just the ink on here and you dry it, nothing's going to happen to the ink. It's just going to be ink on a paper. Oh, hold on. Press is heating up. All right. So after this happens, you pressed it. I mean, you screen printed the design with the ink, and then they either dust it with the powder or they go back over it. Sometimes the ghosting around that you see, that clear part, is the powder or the adhesive behind it that's on there that wasn't registered correctly. Does this happen a lot? Yeah, I see it all the time. I rarely notice it. If you're really looking at, I don't have any pressed t-shirts here, but if you're like really looking at it and you could see it and it bothers you, by all means you could get different transfers. If that doesn't bother you, then go on with your business. For myself, it doesn't bother me. I haven't had any customers come back and say, what the hell is this clear thing going around here? I've also haven't had any customers come back and say, this wasn't screen printed. What the fuck is this? You know what I mean? It's, if you don't, we create t-shirts, right? We know what we're doing. We know the process. We know what we're using to create these t-shirts. The normal customer doesn't understand. They just think everything's screen printed, right? So if it's DTG, whether it's any other printing process, most of the time they really don't understand what it is. So for myself and my past experience, I've had that clear outline. It's not thick, but it's noticeable if you're really looking close. I haven't had that fuck up anything that I did, or had a customer come back and say, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? But good thing you're pressing samples. If you didn't like that, then obviously you wouldn't have to go through that transfer company and you could go through somebody else. Do they ship to Italy? I don't know. I live in California. Don't know anything about who ships to Italy. Boostin', what's up? I placed an order at a printer going on about a month now. You think this is way too long? It all depends. You know what I mean? If you set up the artwork and it's not print ready, meaning ready to go, and they have to do a lot of tweaks to it, that's ultimately, I don't want to say your fault, but that's something that they have to correct on their end. Now, it could be, it looks good to you, but for the printer, if lines and stroke weight, like line weight, is too small for them to screen print, then they have to expand that and make it bigger. That also delays the process, right? That delays a lot of shit because they have to go back through and fuck with your artwork to get it to where it's print ready. When you send something print ready, that means slap that shit on, you're ready to go. There's no fucking with it. You know what I mean? So a lot of screen printers like shit to be print ready so they could just burn the screen and get to going. If there is minor little things, and a lot of these transfer sites, screen printers, they all have guidelines on their site. What's the weight size of each line? What can they do? What's the weight of a negative space that they could allow for really detailed shit? All of that stuff plays a part in the way you design the stuff. I know when you design it and you look at it like, man, that looks cool. Sometimes it looks cool on the computer, but it's not cool after it's printed. You know what I mean? That's just pretty much how the shit goes. You know what I mean? It looks cool on the screen, but when you actually print it, it might not be, the file might not be a print ready file, meaning there is some minor shit. Because you got to remember, a screen is just that. It's a screen. So there's little fucking holes, right? So if you have a really tight line or like a really thin weighted stroke or line, and then there's a dead space in the middle that's even thinner, and then another line, when you press the ink through, there's a chance that the ink goes all the way through and it kind of spreads out and it kind of fills in that negative space, which will fuck up your design. So you have to make sure that you have the right correct weight limitations of whatever the screen printer is saying that they need. Let me see. Isn't priority mail more expensive than shipping first class? Yeah, priority mail is more expensive. For myself, I don't just go based off of what's cheaper. I want the customer to get the package as quick as possible. You do first class, sometimes it'll sit at the fucking post office for a few days before the customer even gets it. Sometimes it'll fucking sit on the truck for a while. That shit right there is aggravating to the customer. When I ship priority, if that shit says 1 business day, in 1 business day, that package is going to be there. If it says 2 business days, it'll be there. When I ship priority from LA, California to New York, takes 2 days priority. That's it. So the customer will get it as soon as possible. If that means paying an extra $1 or $2, so be it. But if you're like me, and you want your package, like when I buy shit off of Amazon, I'm a Prime member. I make sure the shit's prime. Like, I make sure I'm either getting it the same day, the next day, or 2 days at the most. That's just fucking, you buy something, you want that shit now, you know what I mean? Easy call. Let me see. Packaging some orders as well. Very dope. Marlon Wheeler, what's happening? King Knowledge, I'm on Patreon. I'll do the research. Yeah. every step I did for this shit is titled Starting from Scratch on Patreon. You'll see who I bought the transfers from, where I bought them, what formula I use, all of that shit. Same goes for the other transfers, the Los Angeles Rider ones that I was doing. Those are on there too. Let's go back through, watch the videos. You catch it. The list, that's one of your ebooks. I bought the patch ebook and it saved me a ton of bread. Don Green, very dope. I'm glad you got it, but I'm really glad that you got the information out of it. When I first started getting into patches, I fucked up big fucking orders because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing or talking about. So I was hoping somebody, what they would get out of that book, not necessarily is just the vendors that I use, but terminology and sizing, shit like that is a tricky thing when it comes to making patches. Jason Enns, what's up, brother? Think I'm about to order some of that Vinyl Reyes Boost from ISS 285 for 4 seconds worth of test out, I think. I checked that stuff out. I have a big ass roll that they shot me for a sample. When I checked out their samples, it feels good, looks good. The shit that kind of sold me was the low temp, which is cool. And if you don't know what he's talking about, he's talking about B-Flex. So that's dope. Pressing at 285, 4 seconds. It goes on a multiple difference of materials. Polyester, cotton. They're pressing koozies. They're pressing a lot of shit. Very dope shit. I haven't had the chance to test it out and try it out, but they gave me a big-ass sample roll, so I'm going to try it out, see what happens. The only thing that... So I already buy... like Thermoflex, right? This is Thermoflex vinyl. I have a roll of Caesar Easy Weed around here too. They're both about 38 bucks, you know what I mean? 35 to $40. The B-Flex stuff, 35 to $40, same exact price. So depending on availability would be if I was going to order through them or what. Like I could go to McLogan tomorrow and pick up rolls of this shit for 35 to 40 bucks. You know what I mean? If I have to order B-Flex or a different vinyl and it's going to take a few days, I'd rather just buy the shit straight up if I had to pay for shipping and stuff like that. So for me, it's all availability. But nothing wrong with that vinyl. The samples they showed me were dope. I just haven't had a chance to test the shit out yet. Packaging up a care package for that skater I hit up at ISS. If you don't know what Boostin's talking about, we was at the bar drinking after ISS. We're across the street. Big ass fucking mob of skaters pulled up to the convention center across the street. There's like a big 10 stair, and then it was like a little flat landing, and then like another 10 stair that led up to the convention center. These little kids, not even little kids, but some of them were little, some of them were old. Fools were like olling off the 10 stair, landing on the flat land, and it was like this little ass kid that kept going for it. Boostin, Mike from Suerte Muerte, took it upon himself to go hit the kid up and say, hey man, I'll shoot you some free gear if you land the shit. The dude landed the shit. Super dope. And Boostin laced him up. Possibly sponsored him, which is fucking dope because that kid was fucking killing. What's up, homie? Doing my first order tonight. 80 screen print HTVs front and back for my B-Ball youth organization out in Texas. Joseph Villarreal. Very dope. Get that money, man. Plasol transfers are only available in one color. No, they're available in multicolors. You could get them in any color you want. You could do 4-color process printing. You could do multiple spot color printing. Exactly what you could do with screen printing is what you could put on transfers. What's the best vinyl you would recommend? One that is still in good condition after a few washes, dries. Any HTV is perfect as long as you apply it correctly. That's all it is. It's not the brand of HTV that you're using. It's the way you apply it. As long as you dial in your settings for the best application possible and you wash the shit and you test it out, then obviously it's going to work for you. Like I could tell you right now that Gecko has the best heat transfer vinyl, right? It might work for me, for my settings, and then you use it and then you wash the shirt once and then it starts peeling up or getting fucked up. It's not the vinyl, it's application. It's how you press it on. So I always tell you guys to test the shit out, right? You want to press it on the shirt at different settings, wash the shit, and then figure out what settings work best for you and your setup. If I tell you that the shit presses at 377 for 15 seconds, you try 377 for 15 seconds and it peels up and fucks up, it's not my fault. It's yours. You have to find out what works best for your own setup. No setting is universal across every platform. Even the recommended settings that you get from these transfer companies is what works for their press that they have in-house. Now, you take those settings and that's just the starting point. Maybe you got to go a little higher or hotter. Maybe you got to go a little cooler. Maybe you got to press for a longer time, or maybe shave off a second or two, adjust your pressure. All of these things play a big factor into pressing the shit. These transfers that I'm using right now, they recommend 370. I press the shit at 377 because that's what works for myself. They also recommend 7 seconds. I press it for 8 seconds. That's just what works for my own personal setup. Let me see. Big B, I like the way you take the time out, pay attention to your chat, and answer every question and take time to explain everything. Good job. Keep up the great work, and I'll be here more often. Sweet T, I appreciate that. So Jason said, no ghosting with my transfers. Ghosting means the screens weren't registered correctly. Exactly what I was trying to say earlier, but Jason N's cleared it up even better, and his fucking transfers don't have that ghosting. Does Plasfaw transfers and HEV have the same heating settings? No, they do not. Everything has a different. So this HTV could be pressed at like 335. Caesar HTV could be pressed at 350. We're talking about B-Flex earlier. They press at 285, and those are just vinyls. So Plassaw transfers also have different settings. Nothing is the same. All right. About to start pressing some shirts right now, so I won't be responding back to as many questions, but I'm going to try to go through here and read as many as I can. Your designs, are they always just one color? No, they are not. If you watch my videos where I show a lot of different color, multicolored ones, I show you what they look like after being washed. I show you a lot of different shit, what they're pressed like. A lot of different color shit. So here, for example, here's some transfers I showed on the last one. This is how I stock my transfers in envelopes. Forever 24, when Kobe retired. Forever 21 logo flipped with number 24. If you could see that, that's yellow, purple, and inside the numbers is actual jersey material. Well, not jersey material, but it's printed like a jersey, if you could see that. This is more than one color. Same goes for a lot of these, man. A lot of transfers are... Oh, the shit. This one has a shitload of colors. You see the videos of this one. Aloha to the max. This little guy's a crazy dude. But inside, camouflage shorts, Air Max 1s, gray, white, inside his legs, drop shadows in his legs, different color browns, gray shirt, red. This has a lot of colors too, right? So this is a Plassaw transfer, by the way. So not all of my designs are one color. One color is just something that I always use. Good stuff, brother Fernando. What's happening, my bro? Fernando also just joined Patreon. I appreciate that, bro. Let me see. Go back through here and read some more before I start pressing these shirts. Let me check. So I'm looking for 377. And we got 377. So about to start pressing right now. Boom, boom, boom. Mark Durrett, what's happening? Legend, what's happening? Any advice on what types of brands of heat transfer presses to stay away from? I have no idea what to stay away from. I know the Amazon ones, those Chinese made ones, the heating element, they work, but the heating element sometimes gets cooler really fast, or it takes a long time to heat up, or it's inconsistent. The presses from Heat Press Nation, all the ones that I promote inside of the links in the description box, all of those are dope because they're backed by the company and they have dope ass customer service that lets you make it easy to reach out to them. You know what I mean? $6.99 plus tax, a good price for a sheet of heat transfer. I would say no, because sounds pretty expensive. Any info on Ghost White printer versus Merch Maker? I'm ready to buy one or both. Any good? Damian Anderson, I don't know what a Ghost White printer is or Merch Maker is. Sorry. Good information. I appreciate that. Thank you for your time. What size sheet do you gang your designs on? The ones that was on this was like 14 by 19 or some shit like that. Or 14 by 19, 13 by 19, something like that. Can't really recall, but it was somewhere around there. I usually try to go for the biggest one, and then so I could fit more shit on there. Any advice on a vinyl cutter? Buy whatever's in your budget and will fit your workspace. A lot of people think they need to go and get the 32-inch vinyl cutter, and then they get it home and they find out that the shit's so big it doesn't fit on the table. They got to get a stand for it. And then they are only cutting 15-inch rolls. So why buy a 32-inch vinyl cutter if you're only going to be cutting 15-inch rolls? Cheaper and easier to just buy a smaller cutter. Thanks for sharing what you do, Fernando. I appreciate that. Like the shit that I do is make t-shirts. I want to help you guys make money off of making t-shirts too. Information regards to Plastisol transfers are found on Patreon. Who made these transfers, who made the Los Angeles Riders ones, how I ganged them up, what I paid for them, all of that shit is on Patreon. If you wanted every single company that I use for Plastisol transfers, you could buy the list on BigBrando.com. Once again, BigBrando.com has an ebook called The List, and it's every single transfer company that I personally use without putting on Jason Enns, because he started making transfers after the list was created. But you could go to Enns Print Co. and use his transfers also, because his prices are competitive as shit. And if you're like me and you like a thin feeling transfer, meaning where it's not thick and it feels like old ass vinyl, then Jason Enns is the fucking man. Let me see. I'm gonna start pressing some shirts, so I'm gonna try to bang these questions out real quick. You bought that with the multiple colors. I'm not exactly sure all season clothing what you're talking about. Anyone use Stahl's Premium Plus? Heard it's super thin, soft, and flexible, and sample videos looked almost like screen print. Graphic Detail, I personally have not used those. But if you hit up Stahl's and you ask them for a sample packet, they'll send you a sample of every formula they offer, and then you can press it and then really feel it for yourself. What's the best laser printer to get and brand? I don't use laser printers. I don't use desktop printers. I don't print transfers from home. Cream Felder. Let me see. After purchasing the list, is it going to get sent on my email, or how do I see it? Mr. Lands. It'll be emailed directly to you as a download link. If you haven't got it, for some reason, Shopify's been fucking up with a lot of my download emails. Hit me up. Send me an email with your confirmation number and your name, so I could look into it and then get the ebook to you directly. What brand heat gun do I have? Laser Grip. One of the ones off of Amazon. Shit was like $7 or something. Fairly cheap. Some people be like, man, you could get different laser guns. You get one from Home Depot, Harbor Freight, whatever it is. It's all good. Let me see. Do anyone have a price list for end users? Gus Sands, what do you mean a price list? Like what to charge for your t-shirts? Have you used any foil heat transfers? No, I have not. I don't have a need to use foil, glitter, flock. I just use the regular shit. I bought the list, but I didn't get any link or somewhere to download the ebook. Email me, Mr. Lands. Email, when you got the confirmation, email that shit to me, the confirmation number or order number, your name, and then I could get that shit sent out. What brand shirts do you use? I use All Style, Gildan, Pro Club, Anvil. I use a shitload of different ones. Bella, Next Level, Optima. I use a lot of different ones. It all depends who I'm selling to. Gus Sands for silk screen. So price list to get shit silk screened or price list to have shit silk screened and send to the customer. Not exactly sure what you're talking about. How you print out your shipping labels? I have a Dymo label writer, which is upstairs. It's not in here right now. But if you watch my equipment video, I take a little tour around my workspace with all the equipment I use. And the label thermal printer is on there. Boosin said we use Shopify and Dymo label writer. He has the same exact setup I do. I use Shopify and I plug in my Dymo label writer. It's a 4x6 label, thermal printer, no ink needed, prints it out, rip it off, slap it on. Are you Samoan? I am not personally Samoan. Will you ever silk screen? If not, why? I used to silk screen. I went from silk screening to doing this. The reason why I don't do it no more, obviously I'm in a small little workspace. I don't have the space to silk screen. I also don't have the area to wash my screens out. I don't have an area to burn my screens, scoop emulsion, shoot those out. I don't have a pressure washer. I don't have a lot of the shit that's needed to silk screen, so that's why I don't do it anymore. Do I think that shit sucks? No, I actually like printing. I just don't have the space for it. It's messy and it just doesn't work well with my setup here. But I used to silk screen. That's how I learned how to make t-shirts, was screen printing from home. I did everything from burning screens with a floodlight in a closet all the way to scooping emulsion and shooting it out with a pump action pressure washer kind of thing in a bathtub. And then I went to a high pressure nozzle on my bathtub that I could just shoot out. And then what else did I do? I tried going into water-based inks because the Plastol shit, I couldn't deal with solvents. The cleanup sucked. It was cheaper to buy Plastol inks. It was more expensive to buy water-based, but it was easier for me to wash the shit out. So I did that. Then I upgraded to a big garage setup, 4-color press, and I was knocking shit out. But I still had a hard time with cleaning up and setting up. It's just easier to do it this way if you're doing it from home. I'm just starting out to silk screen. Need a breakdown to charge customer in San Diego. It all depends on yourself, Gus Sands. How long? What's your labor worth? You know what I mean? What's your competition charging? That's the stuff. That's where I would start, is looking at other screen printers in your area. Who's your competition? Who could your customer potentially go to? And then find out what they're charging. And then see if you could undercut them by a little bit so you could get the business and make it worth it for yourself. You have to figure out what your labor's worth. You know, what the screens are going to be worth, what the setup fee is worth to you, how long it's going to take you to do this, what the electricity is going to cost to run your flash dryer. All of that shit plays a big role into how you price stuff if you're in production. That's just to cover your own ass. You know what I mean? Would you start with vinyl heat transfer or plastisol? Me personally, I would. If I had a heat press, I'm going to have a vinyl cutter regardless. This is so you could always make custom shit. You'll always be able to make a custom shirt and make money off of your equipment if you have a vinyl cutter and a heat press. You have an idea, you could go straight to your vinyl cutter, cut it out, put it on the heat press, and make it right then and there. Plastisol transfers is going to be what you sell as retail. This is what I sell for brands. when I'm doing bulk orders. Obviously, I ordered 200 of these fucking transfers, so I'm not gonna cut out 200 fucking designs with vinyl. I'm just gonna get these made because it's easier, and I hate weeding. You know what I mean? So if you're buying a heat press, buy a vinyl cutter. Like, the shit will go hand in hand. You could go with a $200 heat press and a $200 vinyl cutter and be in the ball game right from the jump. Right out of the box, you're in the ball game. You know what I mean? I've used Premium Plus, great feel, very dope. Anyone know what t-shirt blanks does Live Fit use? I've never even, I know what Live Fit is. I've seen the brand, but I've never seen one in person to see what kind of a shirt they use. Keep doing your thing, bro. One of these days, you will be from garage to a warehouse. I used to be in a warehouse. I actually downgraded. So, the shit that I do here is just doing it from home. You know what I mean? It's just easier to do. Merchmaker is all-in-one silkscreen setup. That's why I asked. I do vinyl, but is silkscreen worth getting into? Damian Anderson, me personally, if you have the space and the need for screen printing, it's dope to get into. If you're just doing shit for yourself, like for your own personal brands and custom shit, then I don't really think it's a big need, because the cleanup and setup is going to be the same if you're screen printing one shirt or 1,000 shirts. Same setup, same cleanup. Whether you do 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is, right? Cleanup's all the same. When you do heat press and shit like that, if you're just doing like transfers, way easier, way cleaner, especially if you're doing it from home. I don't know your business plan. I don't know how you're structured, so it would be hard for me to say it's a good idea or bad idea. Let me see. They use cut and sew. I don't think they use blanks. We could buy cut to a certain fit. Nicholas Jacob, thanks for saying that. A lot of brands are going that route where they have their own cut and sew program for t-shirts. It's just the way things are going now. I still walk into PacSun and Zoomies and places like that, and I feel t-shirts of streetwear brands. The Hundreds still uses All Style for a lot of their logo tees. Diamond does. Obey uses Anvil. They also use, forget the other name of the brand, but I know they use Anvil. Still don't know who Undefeated uses. Diamond uses All Style. So I still go in there and touch and feel shit just to see what's out there. But a lot of the trendy cuts, long fit, slim fit, I don't fuck with those though. Doing a big job with transfers on all size shirts. Is there one size that will work? This right here is designed to fit on a XXL and a small. I don't change the size of the design. I design it to fit multiple sizes that I offer. There's no just one size that'll work. Like, I could tell you this will fit on a 3X, 5X shirt and also extra small, because it will, right? This will fit, but that's not what you're looking for. You know what I mean? You design the easiest way is to get a piece of tape, masking tape, painter's tape, this shit, tape off a piece of the shirt so you could visually see what it's going to look like, sizing, placement, all of that. And then you take a ruler and then you measure the shit and then you design to that size. That's the best advice I could give you. Let me see. Who won the hat press? It was, I forget their name. Laura, Lisa, and Joe. I can't remember. It was a couple from Monterey. They won it. What's best for doing custom decals? I got Oracle 651, but seems like there might be something better. Thanks for all the game. I buy the cheapest shit possible when it comes to decal vinyl. I think this is made by Avery. I personally buy the cheapest decal vinyl. This is, I want to say Avery. Let me see. Let me just peel this shit up so I can see. Nope, this is Oracle 651. So if Oracle 651 is cheap, that's what I use. This is $2 a yard, McLogan, or maybe even $1 at McLogan. I haven't bought it in a while. But I've also used Avery. I don't know where that shit's at. All right, I'm about to start pressing right now. I've been talking for like fucking an hour already. I just wanted to answer everybody's shit, so I'm gonna move the camera down so you can see what I'm doing, and how shit is operating. This dude is dropping gems. I appreciate that. So there you go. Can you see? Hope you guys can see that shit. Check the press one more time. This is the gun I use. I just shoot the shit. And make sure that we're pressed at 377. Press reads 377. We're good to go. I'm gonna turn the fan on because it's starting to get hot in here. All right. So since I have you guys on the live session, I personally can't listen to music because you guys are on there. So we're gonna start pressing these shirts. So this is a size small, just to show you guys, size small, all style t-shirt. Pre-press, get that moisture out. If you were on the live session a day or two ago, you notice there's a shitload of moisture coming up from these because they got delivered when it was raining. Little hand print. This is usually what I do is I crease up, make a small little crease to find the center of the actual design to make it easier when I'm pressing. I don't use Teflon sheets. I don't use none of that shit. Not that anything is wrong with Teflon sheets and stuff like that. It's just takes a lot more time to fuck with all that. You know what I mean? Left chest print, 377 for 8 seconds. And I keep my hand down to overwrite the auto open feature because it pops up pretty hard. So there's the front. See that? And then we're gonna do the back. So for the person that was asking what size do I do, I design everything to fit a size small or whatever I'm offering, right? So if I'm offering a size large, a size small to XX, then I make sure the design fits small to XX. That's all. No need to pre-press the back because we already pressed it. Eyeball the shit and start pressing. Once again, I'm just holding this because of the auto open feature. It pops up pretty hard and knocks tools off my shit. So there is, hold on. The back, front, size small. And let's see what other size we got here. So here's the extra large. I need my light back. Same exact thing. We're doing orders that I got in today. I think it was about 12 orders. So we'll knock these out. Pre-press, no moisture. Creasing up the transfer to get the center. Let's see if you can see that. See that little crease in there? That's so I have an actual center of the design. So then I could slam this sucker on right here. When I'm pressing these left chest prints, all I'm doing is going to the peaks of the collars. I have a video about this showing that. If you haven't seen it, check it out. You can benefit from it if you do a lot of left chest prints, like over the heart prints. It's an easy way to line it up, doing that the same method that I do. Hot peel, and then pressing the back. Once again, this is an extra large t-shirt. I'm using the same exact transfer that we use on the small, same size. Not switching nothing up. Just gonna crease this up, find the center, and then bang it out. Simple as that. I'm not exactly sure what your guys' workflow is like when you guys press shirts. You know, some people have like a certain way they press shit, certain routine that they go through. For me, it's pretty much the same every single time. Another extra large. This one is going to be, I'm crossing shit off my list. I have a list of orders because I don't have my laptop down here. Is the front hit t-shirt. People always ask, I'm about to launch my brand. How many shirts or designs should I offer? And I always say, offer with whatever you feel comfortable selling. Meaning, if you feel confident in 2 of the designs and you're trying to offer 6, scrap the other 4 and don't release those. Just release the ones you're confident in. This will make for an easier sell. This is the other design right here. Just creased it up. The reason I say that is because a lot of people, when you own a brand and like your friends or family like to tell their friends like, hey, this is my brother, blah, blah, blah. He owns a brand, this and that. You get hype about talking about your brand, right? We all do. No way around it. I'm guilty of it. So is a lot of you guys. The reason I say only release what you're comfortable with selling is because when you're talking about the brand, the products that you're going to be telling them about and you're excited to talk about are the ones that are going to be easy for you to sell. That's what you should be releasing. Not the ones that you're like, oh, I just want to put these up just to have extra shit on my site. Because they're just going to get stuck there. They're going to be stuck on the site. You're not going to be excited and talking about them and trying to sell them. So that kind of sucks. This is the other one. Churros We Trust. All style t-shirt. This customer ordered 2. I didn't promote the In Churros We Trust t-shirt. That's just an add-on item. I'll probably start promoting it after sales start to slow up on the In Memory shirts. It's dope to see them selling. That means people are going to the site, looking at the t-shirts, and then adding that other one to cart as a multiple sale, which is dope. If you didn't tune into my last live that we did when we're pressing shirts, I talk about multiple sales. I learned that shit when I worked at Foot Locker. That's why the salesman is always pushing you to buy a pack of socks or shoe cleaner or something extra. A t-shirt that matches fucking whatever shoes you bought. You just bought a pair of $150 shoes and they're trying to get you to add on a pack of $10 socks or, you know, $7 shoe cleaner. These are add-on items. Same thing why if you ever go to the grocery store and you notice that there's magazines and gum and candy right there, those are add-on items. That's not the shit they promote. That's the shit that when you're standing in line, possibly you'll put on the belt so you can buy the shit. So the way I used this shirt, I mean, not this one, but the In Churros We Trust, was as an add-on item. I want people to go there to buy the In Memory shirt and then see the In Churros We Trust shirt and say, hey, that one's dope too. Let me order it. And I've been selling a lot of them, so obviously it's working, you know what I mean? This is my usual routine here. I usually have music going, playing off of my phone, but since you guys are on the live, I can't do that. So here's the fucking, this is a size medium t-shirt, front hit, and just so you guys can see, all style medium. Cross that out, did that one. Next one is another medium. So like I was talking about earlier about shipping, I ship only on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you order anything over the weekend, it'll go out on Monday. If you order anything during the week, it's gonna go out on Thursday. That's just how I do things. Am I losing out on possible sales because people don't want to wait for Monday or Thursday? Probably, but I'm not gonna fucking ship out every single day just to make, like, these shirts are $16. I'm not gonna be going to the post office daily for $16. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If I didn't have a job, maybe I would, but I work. Got a full-time job. I have a family. I got more really have time to be going to the post office every morning to ship out one shirt or two shirts. I just collect them all and then I ship them all out Mondays and Thursdays. I run every single brand that I run it with that same rule. It's in my FAQs. It's in the policy, terms and condition. It's posted everywhere on my website so people are aware. And I haven't had any complaints for the last 13 years. Now, I don't want to say 13 years. Probably more like 11 years of doing this. I used to ship shit out every single day. Then it got taxing. Some days you'll have 20 orders. Some days you'll have 2 orders. Whatever it is, it just got to the point where I was like, fuck, I'm just going to go to the post office twice a week. Could also schedule the mailman to come and pick up your packages. I've tried that in the past, and sometimes the fucking mailman is too lazy to come to my house. So sometimes I miss the shipment because the mailman doesn't come over. You know what I mean? Like, whether they're running late or whatever, and they're trying to finish their day off, so they just say, fuck it, I delivered all the mail. I'm not gonna go back to that house to pick up the shit. So I make sure I just drop it off. I have 2 post offices that I usually go to. One of them is close to my work, and the other one is close to my house. So depending what time I go is depending on which one I go to. Right. A lot of people also ask me how many brands I run. All right, do I run currently? Why do I operate so many brands? Why not just operate under one brand name? But this brand right here isn't really a brand, these churro shirts. It's just something I started for Patreon to show people how I market shit, how I operate an actual brand. It was the same reason why I started Leftovers, was to show YouTube how I operate a brand. When I start everything from brand development, from the idea, the target audience, finding the audience, showing how I do free marketing to gain sales. That's all I pretty much do. So that's why I started this churro one, was make some extra money and show you guys how this shit works. Obviously, since we launched, we've had a shitload of sales. And we launched prematurely. I tested the design out to my target audience. They liked it, and they started ordering shirts that same day, and I wasn't even prepared for the shit, which is really random and weird. But I sold some in vinyl, which I never do, but I had to fulfill the order. And then this is size large. I started to, I rush ordered the transfers. I ordered the shirts like on a fucking Sunday, and they came throughout the week. And shit's been booming ever since. So I can't complain. The popularity of the shirt is what took me by surprise. I didn't think it was going to be this popular. I knew the target audience that I wanted to go after. I knew what the design was going to do. I just didn't know it was going to be this popular. Am I complaining? No. I'm just surprised. Last time something like this happened, when I did Leftovers, the Biggie design, the Coogee sweater, did the same thing. Shit blew up really fast, and we sold out really fast. That's just how it worked out. Sometimes you release something and it takes a long ass time for you to actually gain sales, because you have to promote to the right people and market it to the right people. So finding that out is a process in itself, but that's something I enjoy doing. So that's why I start a lot of these brands, and I start brands and sell them, because I like the challenge of finding a target audience. I like finding out, or I like selling shit to people. You know what I mean? I'm selling them something that they didn't even think they needed in their life. A design I created and made with my bare hands. I'm pressing the shit. I designed the shit. That's such a sick ass feeling to me. Let me try to show a close up of this. So here's the t-shirt. I forgot who was talking about ghosting, but this shirt doesn't have any ghosting. What ghosting is oh fuck, that motherfucker's hot. Fresh off the press. Let me get the other one. So what ghosting is a clear little line right around the text or the design itself. This has none of that. So these transfers work smooth exactly the way they're supposed to. But what I think it was Ellis Cannon or somebody was talking about was like a little clear line that goes around the design or text, which is just from bad registration from the screen. Registration is pretty much, if you're gonna layer vinyl, you would have, registration is having the design exactly the same on one as the other, so you can lay it on top and it lays up perfect and it registers nicely. Same goes for when you do multicolor screen printing. The registration has to be dead on in order for the design to work. If it's not dead on, it's going to be off and it's going to look fucked up. Nobody wants fucked up t-shirts, right? I think I have to cut some more transfers. So if you're interested in watching the progress and how this brand or these t-shirts started or came about, check out Patreon. If you're part of Patreon and you're part of the Facebook group, then you would see everything that I've been doing. Today I just posted marketing tactics, again, free marketing that have proven to work for myself, so I share it with the group because everybody in the group is either running a brand or they're in brand development and they're about to start a brand. So the shit could help out anybody. So that's why I posted in there. So there's a better idea. And what I do is I post up a shitload of screenshots, and I post up the method behind the shit, why it works, why it doesn't work. This is another large, all style. With doing that, it's one thing to talk about it, right? You guys hear me make the videos, you hear me talk about the shit. Marketing, Instagram, hashtags, all that shit. But it's another thing to see it firsthand. So all I did was just took screenshots of what works for me and I shared it in there. So hopefully somebody who also has a brand that's looking for free marketing tactics, they could learn from what I've been doing, or they could take little pieces of what I've been doing and manipulate it to work for their brand. You know what I mean? That's all. So if you wanted to know where the Patreon is, it's patreon.com/BigBrando. The Facebook group is found on Patreon also in the designer tier. And so far, the group is growing. But the dope part about the group is everybody contributes, everybody helps each other, and everybody respects the group. We used to have a Facebook group that Diz Majiz started, which was really dope. But we let a lot of people in, and in the process of letting a lot of people in, people started posting reckless, posting illegal shit, and jeopardizing everybody's business inside the group. So Diz took it upon himself to shut the group down because he was the moderator of it, and he didn't want to have to fuck his business up for somebody else posting dumb shit inside the group. So that's why this group is closed, and the only access you have to it is through Patreon. People that are invested in the group respect the group, you know what I mean? And so far, since November is when the group first started, it's growing, it's working, and it'll potentially be closed soon. I'm gonna cap the group off, not for anything crazy, but just because once it gets too big, it gets too hard to oversee everything, you know what I mean? Right now it's cool, the group is active, people are posting, people are helping each other. That's all I really want. There's a lot of steam came up right there, so I'm free pressing again till I see no more steam. You don't want no moisture in your shirts because your transfers won't stick. Shirt's got to be bone dry in order for it to adhere to the shirt. I think I got one more extra large to go, and then we should be done. Oh shit, I don't need pre-press because I already pressed it. Fucked up. But so today I didn't do too much marketing. I was busy at work. So usually what I do is I jump on Instagram and I start marketing the shit out of t-shirts. The way I do things is basically clicking on hashtags that are relatable. So in this case, it would be churros. I'll click on a churro hashtag. And then I would go to people's profiles and engage with them. Meaning, I would start conversations in random posts, whether it's about a churro or not. Once I'm on their page, I'm looking at their whole fucking life. If you're like me and somebody likes or comments on your page that you don't know, curiosity makes you click on their name and see who the fuck they are, right? So in doing so, when they click on my page and see who the hell they've been talking to or who's commenting on their shit, they'll see my t-shirts. They'll also see the link in the bio and potentially add it to cart. Does this work all the time? No, but your odds are way better if you engage with 50 to 60 people a day. Sounds like a lot, but starting a conversation with 50, 60 people online is not hard. You could do that shit in like fucking 5-10 minutes. The hard part is your design has to sell itself. Your design, getting them to your page, not hard. You can do that in a bunch of different ways. But getting them to add the t-shirt to cart is the hard part. Now, what you have to remember is your t-shirt design has to sell itself. So if you think about your Instagram page like a storefront, your Instagram is basically the window to your store in the mall, right? So you want to get people to come into your store, they have to look at the window to see why they should go into this new store. Them actually walking into the store is them clicking on the link in your bio to check out your online retail store. Now you have them in the door. Your prices, your design, your customer service is what carries that sale all the way through. That's the conversion portion of it. You have to remember that you're a new startup brand. Not a lot of people are taking a risk with you if your prices are fucking crazy, because who the hell wants to trust a startup brand with a $45 t-shirt? Not me, not anybody else. Seems pretty gnarly, right? And we did all the larges and the extra larges are done. Boom, so we're done. Let me turn this back and try to answer some of these. Let me see. Oh shit, it's too low. See that little black thing up there behind that motorcycle helmet? Those are half body torso mannequins from when I vend. I don't know why I said that, but I just seen it in the camera. Let me go back through here and read some of the shit. I'm all done pressing these up. Turn the press off tomorrow. Let me see. All right, here we go. Anyone know? Oh, I think I already read those. I think I scrolled up too much. All right, here we go. So many wrenches. This dude is dropping gems. I appreciate that. Ravishing Slick. So many wrenches, yeah. And this is just the shit that's in here. I have a few Craftsman toolboxes in the garage. What's the black thing in the press? A shirt? Yeah. Oh, this thing down here, this is not a shirt. This just came with the press. I don't even know what it is, but it's like a cover. It's material, maybe cotton. I don't know. But if you're talking about the thing on the bottom, it came with the press. It's like a fucking cover or something. I don't know. You would think he owned a Harley with all those wrenches. Yeah, man. That's a bunch of people. Same question. 6v1 is the best. Dope. Just curious, what music would you listen to? I listen to reggae. 90% of the time I listen to reggae. I listen to a lot of rap, hip hop, shit like that, but most of the time it's reggae. That's what I grew up on. Let me see. He listened to Bob Marley, Steel Pulse, Black Uhuru, Oswald, Gregory Isaac, Barrington. I listen to everybody. Also listen to motherfucking J Bug, Catch a Fire, Common King, shit like that. I'm gonna send you the artwork. Can you print one? Testing. Where you get your transfers, man? I get them from all different places. Check out the list on bigbrando.com. If not, you could check out Ends Print Co. You can check out the Patreon, all of that. I listen to Old School Mac 10. I fuck with that shit. What do you think of the DIY Plastisol water-based screen printing kits? Me personally, if you wanted to learn the process of screen printing, by all means, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. I learned how to screen print. The shit's fun as fuck. It's dope. It's just I don't have the space for that shit in my work area no more. NWA, fuck with that. Westside Connection, that's right. Who sells transfers? Ends Print Co. I need to stop watching people make money and bank my own orders. Hey, man, tell you the truth, this shit right here, if there was a YouTube channel when I first started making t-shirts, fuck, it would have saved me a shitload of money and I would have made a lot less mistakes. You know how you take moisture out of the shirt? That area gets iron press. Do you worry about the rest of the wrinkles on the sleeves, etc.? No, I don't. Because the shirt's going to get folded and put into a clear poly bag anyways, so it's going to get wrinkled from all the folding. So I don't worry about that. I just worry about the moisture in the t-shirt because I don't want the transfer to lay down perfect on the shirt. If there's moisture in the shirt, you're not going to get it to adhere correctly. Let me see. Big Worm, what's up? One Nation Streetwear, what's happening? How many is he pressing? I did 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I did 12 today. Or maybe 13. Because I did that one extra one with this design. So I had one order for this. So I did 13 shirts right now. These are just the orders that came in today from the website. I have my heat press and cameo. Very dope all season clothing. I'm going to hopefully get into making vids. Bang out those videos, man. Everybody could use the help. Plastisol transfers work on cotton, acrylic, polyester fabrics. Or do I have to order different transfers for each fabric type? Acrylic, I'm not sure of. Cotton and polyester, those ones for the most part will work. I don't know about 100% polyester, but I know cotton poly blends and cotton shirts, the same transfer works. Let me see. One Nation. Okay. Which website? The website that I'm doing these off of could be found on my Instagram page. It's just either bigbrando.com or I forgot what I linked it to. But I know it's in, I have the full link to these shirts on my Instagram. If you wanted to check the shit out, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody from here would buy these churro shirts because it's a fucking churro shirt and you're watching me make the shit. But if you wanted to check it out, by all means go for it. Do you have a video making a Cameo 3 file to PDF? I basically watch every video you have. Having problems and my PDF file is pixelated. Jason can't work with it. What you have to do, a Cameo file is native to Silhouette. So if that's all you're using to design, you're going to have a hard time sending that to anybody because not everybody owns a Silhouette or a Cameo. So if you were trying to make a PDF, I have no idea. I've never even did that. I've never even exported a file from my Cameo because when it's in the Cameo, I just use it to cut. You want to try to get into Illustrator or Photoshop or something like that, which is like an industry standard that more print shops and printers would have these so they could open up these files. Just using the Silhouette Cameo shit, very hard because not everybody has that software. Your best bet is vector files. That's what you want, is a vector. So you only have one Insta and you link your stores to it. I have a shitload of Instagrams. I have a ton of Instagrams for every single brand that I run. That's just how I market shit. These churro shirts are on my personal Instagram, the Big Brando one, only because I was actually selling the shirt in Disneyland the day I tested it out. I didn't even have an Instagram in place at the time for it. I was just testing it out. I had it cut in vinyl and I was wearing it around. A shitload of people came up to me and wanted to buy one, and were asking about it. So while I was in line, I put it on my Shopify store and I linked it to my Instagram so I could send people straight to there. Do you know anyone? Do you know anyone who now the best tees for women? Or do you know anyone who has the best tees for women? In my personal experience, women's shirts are very hard to buy because there's a lot of options. V-neck, U-neck, crop top, fucking crew neck, halter top, tank top, racer back. There's a shitload of different options for women's, and women know that these options are available, so they always want what you don't have for some reason. Like if you just did tank tops and you said, hey, this is all I got is these tank tops, like, oh, how come you don't have the wife beater type tank tops or the rib tank tops, or I wish you had the loose fucking tank tops. That's why I stay away from it. If you wanted to look for girl shirts, I would just say Bella Canvas would probably be an easy bet. That would have a shitload of different stuff that you could pick from, and it's up to you to figure out what would be best. Is that praying hands with a churro? Yeah, it is, man. So it's praying hands with a churro in the middle. That's all it is. Good night, Brando. Always fun watching you going live because you stay dropping knowledge. Appreciate that, Fresh Panda. Terrell. If I haven't registered my brand name yet, how do I buy in bulk from Allsouth? I have no idea. I buy in bulk because I have a wholesale license or reseller permit. If you don't have that yet, you might have to just buy retail or find one of these like fucking sketchy websites to buy from online. But I buy direct from the manufacturer because I have a reseller permit. The reason I always promote getting your reseller permit is because it's easy as fuck. A lot of people get overwhelmed with it because they're like, I don't want to register my business. I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to do all this. If you want to get into this business, you have to treat it as a business. You know what I mean? It's hard for you to tiptoe around a business and not take it serious. For myself, I take it serious because one, I don't want to fuck with taxes, and I don't want to fuck with the IRS, and I don't want to get hemmed up. Two, it's just very easy to do. You know what I mean? The DBA's fucking cheap to get. In Los Angeles, it's like $35. That's the only thing you pay for. The reseller permit's free, tax ID's free, all that shit is free. So you're paying $35 to register your business, and then you have your paperwork in order, you get your reseller permit, and then you could open accounts with all of these different manufacturers. You could open them with third-party suppliers like TSC, Mission Imprintables, stuff like that, Americana. These places carry a shitload of brands that you could order from, you know what I mean? So for the most part, a lot of people get either overwhelmed or they kind of get freaked out about paying taxes and registering your business and being legit, because either they're just trying to get their feet wet and test the waters, or they feel that they're not at that stage of their business. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt whether you make money the first year or you don't. Most of the time, small businesses that are just startups take a loss. You know what I mean? It's your new business. It's normal. But you have to remember that everything you're buying wholesale is recorded, right? So you're not paying sales tax when you buy it wholesale because you're buying with the intent to resell and collect sales tax. So if your records show you're buying $600 blank t-shirts throughout the year, and when it comes time to pay your taxes and you say you only made fucking, let's say you only sold 12 t-shirts, right? They're going to put that against the 600 that you bought and you only sold 12. That's going to say this motherfucker is not cut out for business, and they'll pull your reseller permit, right? So you have to show some sort of profit and some sort of growth for the business, because they don't give the reseller permit to everybody. You apply for it, they give everybody a chance, but if you don't prove that your business is profitable, then they could take it away. If that freaks you out, then that should push you to grind harder and sell more. You know what I mean? That shouldn't cripple you as a business, or it shouldn't tank you, but it should actually put a fire under your ass and be like, oh shit, I better start selling some shirts. You know what I mean? And what you should be doing, taking an L and kind of just rolling with the punches, is not what this business is made for. If you're just like, ah, oh, fuck it, man, I didn't sell nothing, I'm just gonna quit, or I didn't make no money, I wasted a lot of money doing this shit, so I'm just gonna hold off on the business for a while, then maybe this business ain't for you. But if you're not money hungry, but if you're willing to take the fucking beating of losing money and fucking not getting any sales and taking the blow to the ego of you're not going to be rich and famous off the first shirt you sell, but you keep evolving the brand and you keep trying shit that might possibly work and just testing shit out, then you might be cut out for this business. Because there's a lot of shit that I created and it doesn't work. But that's why I use shit like the vinyl cutter to test shit out before I order transfers, right? So I take the risk out of it by cutting that one t-shirt out with vinyl, testing it out, wearing it, and seeing what the reaction is. Depending on that reaction is, do I order transfers or not? So when I did this, I cut this actual design, this little chest print, and this back print. I cut it out with vinyl. I wore it out to where my target audience would be. And then I seen what the reaction was. From there, I said, oh, fuck, this is a hit. A lot of people like this design. Let me order these transfers because now I know I could sell them. And it's proven we've did, I don't know, over 200 something shirts so far, and it's working. Usually, like for the last couple of days, we're doing fucking 50 to 20 shirts, depending on the day. Today we did 12. I didn't do no marketing whatsoever today, and that's how it works. So just think about all the failures before this, right? Like this shirt's doing good. This one's fucking moving. I have a few other shirts that didn't do so well. I only sold maybe like 1 or 2 a fucking week. And it's not a blow to the ego, but it's just a fucking, it's a wake up call. Like, all right, I got to come up with something better so I could fucking make some money. You know what I mean? Make sure that when you get into this business, even if it's just for a fucking hobby, be able to take a fucking few punches. You know what I mean? If you're somebody that gets punched once and you're fucking out for the fight and you're just done, then maybe this shit ain't for you. But if you could roll with the punches and take a fucking beating, but still keep getting back up, then this business might be for you. Because every design we design is not a hit. I could tell you that right now. For myself personally, there's a lot of fucking designs I've came up with that fucking suck. I thought were dope, but they sucked. But I still fucking kept going. You know what I mean? I kept thinking of new shit and new ways to fucking get business. I just wanted to sell shit to people. I wanted to make cool shit for cool ass people. That's in my head. That's all I'm doing. Is the people that are buying my shirts are dope ass people because this is a dope ass design, right? So I keep that in the back of my head of, all right, I just need to make cool ass fucking shirts for cool ass people. When I design shit, I design with the end user in mind. So the person that I'm designing this dumb churro shirt for is somebody that fucking loves churros. You know what I mean? So the easy sell is make something relatable to the person and then sell to that demographic and that demographic only. This LA design right here, this Anarchy LA design, I put this on fucking zip-up hoodies for the same brand that we do LA Riders with. This same logo I thought was dumb as hell. I was like, man, nobody's gonna buy this shit. People love this shit more so on just one little fucking print on a zip-up hoodie than they would if this was big as fuck on the back. They just like this little simple shit, and it works. You know what I mean? It's not the just the design. It's placement. It's the way it comes across to the end user. It's really by eyeball. You know what I mean? If you have a decent eye for what looks good and what doesn't, then you're fucking cool. You know what I mean? But when you design shit that's relatable to somebody, it just makes for the sell to be way easier. That bike right there is called a Big Ripper. It's a 29-inch BMX. It's popular in Philly, Harlem, here in Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose. That's where this bike mainly is popular. When doing this, selling shit to people that ride this bike, made hats that just say San Jose, Philly, Harlem, and I only sell it to people that ride this bike. So the way in to this little industry and that small world of people that are into this bike is I made something relatable to them. I knew that that bike is popular in these areas, right? You can see it on Instagram, you can see it anywhere. If you're into that shit, you know who's popular, who's doing wheelies on the shit, who's really riding these bikes. Now, to make the sell easier, do I have to say, fucking, the shirt doesn't have to say Big Rippers are the best or whatever it is. I could make something for these regions and just market it to them. So obviously a hat that just said Philly sold to people in Philly that ride these bikes. I'm narrowing the market down. It's not necessarily a niche because I have nothing to do with bikes, but I'm selling to a region that relates to that hat. And obviously bicycle riders all wear hats. It makes for an easier sell. So that's the entry, right? So I sell the hat that says Philly. They're like, oh shit, that's a cool ass hat. And I'm only targeting people that ride this bike. Now, when I do launch a shirt, there's some sort of trust between my brand and the end user because they're like, oh shit, that's the dude that sells the Philly and Harlem hats. Now he's making shit for the Big Ripper homies. And now I could launch the shirt that says some shit about 29-inch BMX bikes or whatever it is. That's what I mean when I say make something relatable, right? I can make it in Philadelphia Eagles colorway, Phillies colorway. If I was doing it for New York, it could be blue and orange. It could be green and white. It could be the Giants colors. It could be Yankees colors. It could be any color that's relatable that doesn't have to necessarily be anything about the niche. This churro shit, I'm marketing this to Disneyland goers, people that go to Disneyland. This has nothing to do with Disneyland. There's no Mickey ears. There's no fucking fairy dust. There's no castles. None of that. It's a fucking churro that if you go to Disneyland, you know that there's a churro cart everywhere within the Disneyland park. Something relatable for a certain audience. I'm selling this to Disneyland goers that have passes and shit like that, but it has nothing to do with Disneyland. You know what I mean? This is a play on an old ass RIP t-shirt. If you're from the hood, if you understand this shit, you know that you could go to the swap meet and get in loving memory of your homie's name. You could put the hood down here. All of that shit. This is the play on that. You know what I mean? So this has nothing to do with Disneyland, but the people I'm selling it to are Disneyland goers because they understand what the fuck a churro is. You know what I mean? Now, when I'm ready to expand, I can make other Disney shit related around food or related around Disneyland, related around shit that happens at Disneyland that only Disneyland goers would know. But the trust is there because this was my barrier of entry, right? I'm the guy that made the churro shirt, so people understand what the brand is. They understand it. Now they trust when I launch other shit, it's going to be as cool as this. It makes for an easier sell. That's the easiest way I could explain it to you guys. So it's not necessarily a niche brand. It's just making something relatable to get your foot in the door, to make the sale. And then from there, that's where you expand. So always start small and expand in that group. It's way easier to do that than start with trying to sell to everybody. And then you're offering it to too many people. Offer it to a very small group and then expand from there. Let me see. If you go straight to the manufacturer or the MOQs. Nah, check it out. Jason in. So I order from All Style. If I just wanted to order one t-shirt, I could just order one t-shirt. That's basically how it's worked for me. Pro Club is the same exact way. All Style's that way. Decky's that way. Flex Fit used to be. I haven't ordered from them in a while because I stopped using their hats. But I know Decky's like that where you could just order 2 hats if you wanted to. Let me see. Do you have a video how to display apparel and hats at a festival or a 5K run, for example? Art the Barber. These right here. half torso mannequins, men's half torso mannequins. All it is just for t-shirts. You drape the t-shirt over it. I usually put the smallest size I'm offering on the mannequin, hang the shit up off of Easy Up. Easiest way to go about doing it. Free game once again, big bro. Catch you next time. I appreciate that, bruh. So you only need one Shopify store that all your Instas link to. If that's how your business is set up, if your business is set up across multiple platforms and you're selling different products, then it would be best for you to open different Shopify stores. If you're doing something like this, has no brand name, I'm not going to start a Shopify store just for testing out for YouTube. So I'm not going to create a whole new Shopify store just for that. So that's why I'm using one of my other stores and I'm just making it a separate collection and then linking towards it. For my other brands that I run, they have their own Shopify layout, their own Shopify store, their own domain. Everything is separate from what I do on YouTube. It just all depends on how your business is set up. You skipped over my question. How do you spell Enns print code? He's in here, Jason Enns. You're looking at him right now. Hobby versus business mindset. Yup. That's where I'm at. Losing money, but keep grinding and getting new items. Just received my single head embroidery machine. Very dope One Nation streetwear. That for sure is going to bring you some fucking money. I'm getting a business license for my clothing brand, but should I get one for my custom business too? No. You would only need that business license for your actual brand. Your custom business could be operated cash only or however you want to operate that, but you wouldn't have to zone another business license for that. Let me see. Narrowing the niche and focus. Yep, I fuck with churros. Rick Martinez, so do I, man. Take the actual class in LA, try and get it down proper. Sorry for letting me know. That's dope. Did you sell the Big Ripper hats with the SE Racing font? No, I did not. Art the Barber. The hats that I did had a custom font that I used across all of them. So Los Angeles had the same font as San Jose. San Jose had the same font as Philly, as New York. Wherever that, whoever was riding those bikes, I used the same exact font. I just changed the color of the hat and the color of the thread. Same font, different lettering. Or different wording, I should say. Let me see. Where do you get your collar tags? Those are Plastisol transfers also. If you have the list from bigbrando.com, you'll know exactly who I go to. Jason Enns could make them for you also. Fernando's out of here. It's 1 a.m. over there. I appreciate you for even staying on this long. I'm about to get up out of here too now that I finished these shirts. I got to bag them up, ship them out. Jason Enns makes neck transfer tags. So hit him up. M&T Camp. Hit up Enns Print Co. and he could get you some neck tags. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for even fucking with this for 2 hours or whatever we did. Catch you guys on the next one, man. If you wanted to rewatch this shit, it'll be posted on the Patreon.